Not only the life changes at the personal level, professional level, family level, because it changes the entire perception in your life. Huh? You are in anxiety, say for example, you are reacting because of relationship. Now you have taken care of your mind. You have understood from where the reaction and the blame comes. So when you realize this, you say, no, 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 I'm not going to do this. What happens? Calmness enters into your mind. With that calmness and a peace, now you are responding to the world outside. See, that is the beauty of this Eastern wisdom. So, last 2 or 3 weeks, we covered the higher meditation practices. What is the higher meditation stages? So, we covered meditation with the 4 different stages, and ultimately, we land up with the 5th stage, that is totally emptiness. But we did not cover the basics of meditation from where we enter into that higher meditative stage. So, our master Patanjali, we are studying Yoga Sutra. So, in the 3rd chapter, he says the meditative state consists of 3 stages, and all together is known as samyam. So samyam is a Sanskrit word, sanyam. So that sanyam, normally if I translate into English, it means a state of equanimity. You are not affected by the likes and dislikes of the world. You are not affected by attachment and detachment to the world. I remember a great, I was talking about the same thing and including the love. I said that love is a state of consciousness. So that guy asked, huh? That guy asked that if we love everyone, then we have many families. You see the wrong understanding. So I have to explain it again. I have to re-explain. I said, try to understand. And he is a millionaire. He is extremely intelligent in his profession, in his business. He is from Eastern Europe. So, what should you say to those people? So, understand the basics has 3 stages. The first, it says, Desabandhasya chitasya dharana. The first, very first, fundamental, basic, primary step of meditation is to confine the territory of the mind. What does it mean? If you have a dog in your house, then you know you put a leash on the dog. And so what happens? The dog has been confined to a territory. You see that? When you put the leash, hold it. So dog has been confined to a particular territory. Our mind is like a dog. We have to put a leash. That is different than concentration. So here in the Western world, when you translate this sutra, that means concentration. No, it is not concentration. You confine the territory of your mind on a particular object, and one object is there, but there are many shades of that object. Say, for example, I have to confine my mind, and the territory is John. So, first is the name, then the form, then the color of the skin, then the hair. So my mind should remain on the John, whether it remains on the name, on the form, on the hairs, on the nose, on the eyes. Did you understand that? So we pick up any object. Say, I pick up, say, Om Shanti. So I become more and more aware of the sound, the singing, and the listening. Om Shanti. That is what I did last week in meditation. So I was aware that I have to talk about this. So I already gave you that practice, and we will take to that practice to the next step. So then what happens? So the first day, first basic of meditation, where the mind finds a limited territory, but that in that territory there is only one object. So see that what happens, it is different from the concentration of modern psychology. So what the modern psychology says, focus. So I focus on John, but my mind goes to, and so I forcibly bring it back to John. My mind goes to Sophie, my mind goes to me. So there is always a struggle there. So here there is no struggle. That is the first stage. In the second stage of meditation, at the same time, you are looking at an object, but you are also looking at who is looking at an object, the seer, the knower, the mind inside you. So the mind turns from outside to inside. Once you understand, and then you contemplate and reflect. When you reflect on it, what happens? The mind that is confined on that territory starts moving inside, and you become aware of that mind. That mind, you see, there is an uninterrupted flow of that mind. So that is the second stage of meditation. And what happens in the third stage of meditation? That object disappears completely. The mind is settled within the mind itself. So that is reflected as an emptiness or huh, emptiness or nothingness of the mind. We can take one example. I see the wall here in front of, huh, behind the monitor. So that is the first stage. Now I reflect on this wall is a matter, and the matter consists of atom. Matter consists of atoms, isn't it? Atom consists of electron, proton, and neutron. So that shape of the wall and the shade that appears, it is because of the atom. These atoms are very close to each other. If they are little far away, then it is liquid. Little too far, then it is a gaseous. All are matter. Now I go little deeper. So at the level of, you see that at the level of atom, the very shape disappears. Shape has no value. It appears, but it is not true. Am I right? It appears true, but it is not true. John appears, I appear as a body, as a name in the form. It appears true, but it is not true because this body is also a matter, and body consists of atom. An atom consists of electron, proton, and neutron. Then go further. Find the ultimate cause of that atom. Do you know about quantum physics? These atom is nothing but electromagnetic field. This is nothing but energy. Our great American Scientist Einstein. E is equal to mc square. Energy is converted into matter and the matter is converted into energy. So he said, energy is the fundamental substance. So, energy in one permutation and combination reflected as John, second, this guy, third, Mead, fourth, Sophie, and fifth is N. Did we find the unity? All are made up of energy. You see? So, until the mind reaches to that subtler level of perception, until the mind reaches to that subtler level of perception, we cannot succeed in meditation. This is what I want to make it. Now, go a little deeper behind that energy. So, who is the seer of energy? Who is the knower of that energy? Who is the knower of the body, the breath, the mind, the thoughts, the intellect, the ego? That very knower is my true nature. The goal of meditation is to find and discover our true nature. To find that, is it lost somewhere? It is not lost somewhere. I am very much here. So that very knower, real self, is already here. I have forgotten it. Due to incomplete knowledge, due to ignorance, due to delusion, I don't see it. What I see I am a maid. I have certain profession. I have certain score to settle with lot of people. I love some people. I hate some people. Oh, we are just, mind is engaged in these unnecessary things. And these unnecessary things are known as impurities of the mind. It is a case of lost and found. I feel my real nature is lost, but it is within me. It is within me. So, meditation is to restore. Oh, I have forgotten. What is me, real me? Who am I? So, our master says we are absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. Bliss means permanent happiness. Don't misinterpret bliss with reference to any kind of physical pleasure. That will again destroy the principle. We Americans are great and intelligent people. We say, oh, let us twist here and there. No. So we have to follow as per the teachings of our master. So it says existence, consciousness, bliss. That is, now see the last point. You have to listen to this talk again and again. Where it is, I don't know it. So another master says beautifully. One example, and then we will go to the series of reflection. Is wave different from water? Wave is water, appears in different shapes and sizes. So, can I say that it is not the wave, but it is inside the wave? The water is not the wave, but it is inside the wave. Clear? It is in the body, but not the body. It is in the mind, but not the mind. It is in the thought, but not the thought. It is in my craziness, but not the craziness. It is in my anger, but not the anger. Now see, it is present everywhere, at every moment of our life. Why it is present in every moment of life? Can you answer? Because without consciousness, there is no moment in my life. So that real self is the consciousness. Consciousness cannot be divided. Thought divides me, anxiety divides me, body divides me, everything divides me, but they appear. They all are waves. But water is not a wave, but it is inside it. It is in the body, but not the body. It is in the mind, not the mind. It is in the thought, but not the thought. It is in everything. But that thing is not the real self. Getting some idea? Pure rational understanding. First, we should understand rationally, then we will practice. Now, what happens when it is everywhere, when it is present in everything, then once I realize that, can my mind enter into a conflict? There is no two. To have a conflict and to have an anxiety, I need two or more than two. Here is the John, and here I am. John is like this, and I'm like this. So, we can fight, we can love, we can have relationship. But if there is no two, so in that state, the mind lives into the purified state. That is why I'm concluding. Well, that is why we say, let the mind reach to that state of emptiness, total emptiness. Let the mind act like a mirror so that the real self will be reflected in that mirror. As long as the dust is there, you cannot reflect the real self there. Isn't it so simple? but But intellect has now a clarity and conviction. So, Master says, now you have a clarity, you have understood it. Yes, there is no doubt about it. So, hold on to this knowledge during the practice of meditation so that real self will reveal itself. Our Master doesn't stop at, you have understood and done. No, you have understood, but you don't have that experience. So we need to practice, practice, and practice with commitment. And when we practice, then that knowledge reveals itself. That experience validates, yes, there is a real self. I'm not talking of the heaven and the hell. I'm not talking of the God and cult and dogma and belief and religion. Nothing of that. We don't need that. That is the beauty of these teachings. For hell, I have to wait until I die to go to hell or to heaven. In all religions, you have that philosophy. But here we say it is already in you, it is here and now. You see, every cult, dogma, belief, religion has this concept. Whether you say they have a concept of sin and virtue, hell and heaven, see, like this. You will go to hell if you do like this. Who cares? When I go, then I will see. Until then, let me continue. So, this teaching says no, here and now. Don't wait in the future. It doesn't give any liberty to the mind to fall into anxiety, reaction, blame, complain. You see that? That is the basic point. Otherwise, all religions make you, oh, who cares? I will get this and I will confess everything. We see a lot of excuses. Here, the mind, the intellect must get the right knowledge and allow the intellect to guide the mind. Mind, you are going there. You have divided yourself. And when you have divided, the mind will swing like a pendulum. It will create a reaction. Don't divide. Have a right perception. It is here and now. It is from moment to moment. So, so these three, confining the territory of the mind in a very normal way, confining the territory. Second, going behind that object. Going behind, I gave you an example: wall, then matter, then atom, then energy. You see, don't see Sophie John as a label. See what is behind that label: a human being. Then how do you understand that human being? The human is constantly changing. What is that changing? The body, the mind, the breath, the intellect, and the ego. And the being is unchanging part. So when you reflect, now this is just an example, Sophie. So when you reflect on that, all your dualities and conflicts drop down from the mind. In that stage, when you meditate, you see what you see, the ultimate reality in John is already present in you. What do you find? One consciousness pervades everywhere. And that consciousness is permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. That is the ultimate goal of meditation. So, next week we will take up who can succeed in meditation. I remember, there are 5 sutras. Patanjali explains who is the highest level of a seeker. Okay, if you are not the highest level of a seeker, how you can become the highest level of a seeker to succeed? So there are 5 traits we have to cultivate. Well, these are 5 attributes cultivate. So the master says, okay, let us move at the third level. So he explains, do you have only one thing in your mind? Can you hold on to it? You will succeed. Did you see that the arrangement of the teaching and the arrangement of these sutras in the teaching? But in the beginning, when I say, "Are you a seeker?" and then I start explaining, and then the mind is already impure. You have undertaken a journey for so long, so now the mind will stick to this journey. But if I tell you, "Oh, you are not a seeker," mind will start opposing. You are not a seeker. Better to leave this practice. See that? So Patanjali comes after the almost 18, 19 sutras. He says, now understand, are you a seeker, my friend? How can you become a seeker? Who is the highest level of a seeker? That we will take up in the next week. Let us start our practice of meditation.